lovely Lego fans. Just a short video today. Just doing an update because it's been a long time since I've done an update. In all fairness, that's just because I've been really busy. Summer holidays, I've been trying to keep the kids alive. Succeeded. Managed to get the kids back to school. Succeeded. And currently I'm just really working on a massive project. So the Lego group that I'm part of, Plymlug, which is a southwest of the UK based team, and we do charity shows for Lego under the Plymlug Spectacular banner. We're currently doing a show in my hometown on the 20th of December, so I've been really tied up sort of trying to prepare for that event. So stay tuned because hopefully we'll be getting some good news on that coming up. Just currently trying to get some sponsorship and a bit of support really for the two charities that we're supporting with the show. But because of that, been really busy doing lots and lots of Lego building. So I thought I'd talk you through some of the sets. So the main thing that I've currently been working on has been my Lego digestive system, which is all functioning and all moving. The thing, it's a little bit of an issue, so you can see all my gears and things in the back. So this is something that I've got to admit is still fairly new to me. Still getting used to how things work with gears and ratios, but that will be coming along nicely. I'm probably going to have to put some lights in there, and in essence you're going to have a gullet or esophagus with a stomach, the small intestine here and the large intestine there, so you can see some of the poo there coming out of the corner, hiding. And I'm going to put a little head at the top, or part of a head at least, from the digestive system. So next what we've got is part of the armies that I've been currently working on. So the main ones that I've been working on have been these guys here, the Red Dragon Army. So I was really inspired by this little minifigure that I managed to get from a recent show that we did in Oakhampton. So shout out to Louise for that, because thank you so much for helping me in getting that figure. But as you can see, the army is now building up quite nicely with some custom additions here. I'm not quite sure why the Ghost Rider magician or warlock is added in here, but we will be adding him to one of our armies soon. And then I got this little addition recently, the actual dragon from the Red Dragon Army. So it's really cool figure. Really excited to finally have that one in. And in the background, another figure that I got only a few days ago, the Akita figure from Ninjago. Had the fox for a while, so I made a little tiny diorama for her this morning. So really happy to have that figure. That's been my white whale for such a long time. Next, moving on, we've got this army of undead vampires, all those kind of things. So I'm slowly sort of building it up, inspired really by the last minifigure series. So you'd have the Vampire Knights, so sort of custom made some of those, and then that's the Baron from the Dungeons and Dragons, as well as this little figure as well. So really nice figures. So I'm currently just working on finding all the relevant kind of skeleton ghost type figures that I've got and building a little army. And I found this little guy who I think is actually one of the Ganeshan, not quite sure how you pronounce them, from Star Wars, but really cool. I think it looks really awesome as sort of like a vampire knight type figure. Then less sort of fantastic, but still quite fun, making a little sort of collaboration army really with the sort of Royal Knights and the Lion Knights of all different factions, because as you can see, I mean, there's a logical addition when you look at the colours, in particular the blue and white palette that we've got with the lion and the crest with the crown, which fits in perfectly with the Crown Knights as well. And then we've got sort of a variation. So these guys will be joining my Lion Knight castle and hopefully making a really nice big army. And then finally, I couldn't help myself. I found a few of these, I think they're the Moon Knights. So I've got these kind of a little while ago. And recently I just thought, you know what, I'd quite like to make them a little bit sort of roguish and also quite magical. So recently what we've been doing, my son and I, is actually sort of finding more fantastical type creatures to sort of add to the mix. So got a couple of little werewolves in there as well, and then just a couple of sort of rogues, sort of assassin type creatures. So that's going on really nicely. And then a couple of other little things I've been doing, so updating my heart model. So this is the pumping heart and lungs. So I'm wanting to do a little bit sort of on the top, possibly with sort of a bit of the top of the chest and maybe some ribs as well, so you can kind of see that working a little bit more. Not much change really insofar as the display unit. So we've still got my heavy sort of Batman stuff here and my Jurassic Park stuff down there. And then at the top, sort of more Marvel, although I have been working a little bit on some of the displays and some figures that I've been sort of trying to put together. So my Avengers sort of group is coming along nicely. I've stopped the lights moving. Added Vision recently, really happy with that. And then a Falcon there as well. But yeah, trying to sort of come up with some stands as well to put these guys together. The Guardians of the Galaxy back there. And then up here we've got some of the What If minifigs, some of the Marvel series minifigs, and then here I'm adding together my sort of Spider-Man and baddies there in the back, and at the front some of the X-Men with my little creation that I did recently, Charles Xavier or Professor X. But more importantly, so yes, that's been the quick update up there. I mean, not much to show. If you know about Ninjago, you know about Ninjago, but adding in a couple of the different Ninjago city sets, and my idea would be to eventually change this up a little bit. So that's the Monkey Kid set to sort of accompany and make that all in one. But this is my biggest project. So the kids project is back there. So that's Lucas's project here that he's working on, some kind of cityscape diorama type thing. Lily is also making a group of flats, which is really nice. But this is my main thing, and I've just noticed my wonky leg here for the tower going up. So the Lion Knight Castle has been changed so many times. Not sure that's quite in keeping with the times, but hey, let's put a 50-mile-an-hour limit on there. So yeah, changed a few times again. So still with the two main additions that I've put in here. But just really wanted to add more. I really want to do it in layers of walls, like the classic sort of medieval castles or fantasy castles, taking a lot of inspiration from, say, Minas Tirith from Lord of the Rings. But yeah, still added this nice little sort of walkway all the way up to the castle. But in the back is where we've had the biggest changes. So previously, what I used to do here was have a sort of training. You saying hello, Loki? Good boy. Hey, yo. So this used to be a big training room, really, and I used to kind of have this sort of mainly as a sort of a dirt pit. Yes, I know, good boy, stay down. And then have a load of knights in the back here training, but I really wanted to change that up a little bit. So my very much Game of Thrones inspired tree, I can't remember what they call that tree, but that's based in Winterfell, I think. So added that back in here. And then in the back, we've changed it so that this tower that used to live here is now part of a slightly bigger structure. This has been what I worked on over the weekend, adding in a barracks here. So I've still got to add a few more bits and bobs, a few more details, but essentially you've got a little bunk bed here. So probably add one more bed in there and a bit more equipment. And then let's put that roof back on there. So the changes that we've got, the tower, as we said, has now moved to be part of a much bigger complex, which is my little Wizarding Express room. So we've got a little portal that lights up with a little effect sticker from the Nexo Knights, and then a few more rooms which I need to just tweak and finish off again, seeing as I've moved things around. And this has been the biggest addition. So this has been my little sort of Wizarding complex. Now the main aim behind here was to try and, so I'm just being nudged by a 2-year-old Labrador. Hey, want to be part of it? Yeah, I know, good boy. So yeah, so my main inspiration was actually getting this set from the Harry Potter series, which is I think the Potions class, and I thought it was really nice set, but very square, and I saw it and was immediately inspired to make this round sort of shaped room with a little walkway into the tower down there. So I've been working really hard in this room, trying to figure out which is the best way to lay it out. I wanted to have a sort of a central round area here, and I was sort of building all sorts of bits with a room at the top and then something else, and it just was not working. So really the reason why I've done a little video today was the idea that I came up with this afternoon. So I'm just going to give him a little ear scratch while we go, just to keep him quiet. Essentially, we've got all of our potion making ingredients down at the bottom here, and that just goes all the way around. and now up here is going to be our main sort of cauldron area. So I'm quite happy with it. Still obviously quite a bit of work to do just for the smaller details, but all in all quite happy. And then the last thing I'm going to do, and this will be hopefully an addition for the next few weeks, because I may be going to the Bristol Brick Show, which is a massive brick show done by Gertlug. So hopefully I'll be getting onto that show and maybe bringing the medieval castle down with me. But in order to do that, I really want to finish this last little bit from it, which is going to be a little addition of a Tudor type building here, possibly with a throne room, and then have a top that sort of, so a stone base, and then a first floor or second floor that has this kind of style of build, again with the lovely roof style that I've continued throughout the building. So you can see all the colours have actually been changed to this green and blue coloration here, and then I might be extending this wall up a little bit to actually make this more of another throne room, or I'm not quite sure, but a few ideas. So stay tuned to stick on the update and say goodbye.